It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. Ringside Heat is on the air on News Talk Saga 960 AM. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lex Tan, host and producer of the show. You can follow us at Ringside_Heat. You can follow me at Lex Tan Media, and we have an action-packed show here for you today. And it's going to be a two-man show over here. I'm joined here by our Impact TNA wrestling expert. I'm gonna put both. I'm gonna put both histories in it there now. Our TNA wrestling expert and our wrestling memorabilia collection expert at Coca Collections, where you can follow his collection. His name is Chico Nugid, and Chico, welcome to the show.
Hey man, I'm glad to be back. Actually, I can't wait to discuss. There's a whole lot of things to talk about when it comes to especially WWE and whatever other stuff is out there.
Yep, exactly. But, the first thing I do want to talk about here, because last week on the air in Saga 960, we were anticipating that a very good World Series, because at that point it was on when I recorded that episode Wednesday morning. The Blue Jays hadn't tied the series, which they did, and unfortunately, as it went forward, the Blue Jays unfortunately lost in Game 7 in the World Series after 2 extra innings in Game 7, plus that extra inning game went 18 innings in Game 3. My goodness gracious! The Blue Jays. They gave it their all. They did everything that they could to hold back the Dodgers, and they just couldn't get past Yamamoto. And a lot of everything happened for both sides. Things that could screw up both sides, things that could benefit both sides, and in the end, it was a coin toss after the equivalent of 8 games plus 2 innings. And congratulations to the LA Dodgers, but we also want to honor this year's 2025 Toronto Blue Jays for making this season such a memorable one. Indeed.
I totally agree. I'm still grieving the loss. Mm-hmm. But it was kind of, I guess it was good timing of life or the universe or what have you. I think God put me 4 hours away from Toronto for the Game 7 emotional hit. So I don't think it hit me as hard as it did for some other people who were sponging off of each other at the watch party at Scotiabank Arena, and the actual fans who made it and spent half of their savings to go to the Rogers Center for actual tickets. Yep. For that. And yeah, no, it was sad, and I'm still sad. I'm still getting over it a little bit at a time each day. It was really close. But honestly, it was a lot better than I thought it would be at the beginning of the season. I never wanted to even bother knowing the name of this Jays team because I just figured, we're just going to lose again. Mm-hmm. But nope, they turned it around mid-season, and then they took us on a journey, and I was happy to be on it.
Yeah, they did. And I actually did get a chance to reach out to a couple of people involved with the Blue Jays organization. One of the head scouts in the Blue Jays organization, who was my landlord back in the day, and reached out to him and his wife and thanked them for the hard work and the sacrifices that they made over the years that he has been a part of this Blue Jays organization as a scout. I believe he started off as the head Canadian scout for Canadian talent, but I think now he's a scout for the entire, like the head scout for the entire team. And wow. And so he's done some really, really great work. Obviously, he's done some really, really great work over the past, I don't know how many years now, like maybe 20 some odd years that he's been involved in the Blue Jays organization. So
did he reply to you?
Yes, he did, actually. Both he and his wife replied to me, and they really appreciated the kind words. And they apparently thought that my words to them were some of the nicest that they've heard so far over the past week. So very, very thankful. And I'm not going to name this person, but he knows who he is. But one person that I can name, actually, that I actually reached out to through all of this is Jerry Howarth. Howarth, former play-by-play broadcaster for the Toronto Blue Jays, who retired after the 2017 season. And this was his statement to his Facebook audience, his Facebook friends. If I could read that out right now. To all of my great Facebook friends, yes, so heartbreaking at the end of last night. Deep breath. Yes, also such a wonderful World Series for us to watch and enjoy. And the way he used to say that, he highlighted or capitalized joy and enjoy, kind of the same way that he used to do that as well, too, when he made his introductions to Blue Jays baseball. You sit back and enjoy Blue Jays baseball. So yeah, that's pretty cool that he wrote it in that voice. Yes, we love our Blue Jays. Yes, we were also surprised and also so grateful to witness an amazing 2025 season from beginning to end that no one ever anticipated seeing. Most of all, me. Yes, we are all so blessed to be right where we are and thankful that we have for all that we have, which includes being a significant part of this most loving baseball team of unselfish, hardworking players who will forever be remembered this season for always giving their best day after day after day, playing together for each other. So good. Thank you so much. God bless all of you. And now let me take the next month to personally say thank you right here to all of you for your support and loving thoughts that you sent my way. I am so magnificently grateful to all of you. Take special care. Jerry Howarth.
Cue Sarah McLachlan's Angel for grieving the loss of this season for the Blue Jays. Mm-hmm. There you go.
Yeah, or I will remember you. The way Fred used to do it before, but in less of a mocking way. That's for sure.
Yep, for sure.
So, who knows? This could be the beginning. Here's the thing. Yes, there are a lot of people that want to stay with the Blue Jays. In fact, one of those is Shane Bieber, Justin's brother. No, just kidding. He's officially signed, but there are a lot of other players out there. First of which, Bo Bichette, who really wants to stay with the Blue Jays, but is a free agent, and he is going to be in demand. So could this be the end of the Bo Bichette era with the Blue Jays, or just the beginning of a legacy for the Toronto Blue Jays? And that's something that we will be discussing here, the end of eras and the beginning of legacies. And we're going to start with that conversation with the results of Saturday night's main event from last Saturday, the same day that the Blue Jays were playing in that Game 7 of the World Series. And to recap over here, we had our first match of the evening, which was the WWE Championship match, Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. It was Cody Rhodes taking the victory against McIntyre following a ref from Andrew Thomas. Rhodes utilized the title belt that McIntyre introduced into the squared circle, delivering a DDT on it and following with a crossroads for the victory. And so we also had the second match of the night, Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill, and a new WWE Women's Champion Jade Cargill, and it was so Cargill attempted to injure Stratton with the steel steps, but Stratton moved out of the way and back inside, delivered a swanton bomb for a near fall, but the challenger Cargill recovered, overwhelmed the champion, and delivered Jaded for the victory. Next match, the IC title match, Penta versus Rusev versus Dominic Mysterio, and Mysterio got the victory over Rusev and Penta to retain the title. Apparently, the ending was Mysterio bringing the bell hammer into the match. Penta attempted to use it against Mysterio, but struck Rusev instead. The champion sent him into the post, delivering a frog splash to Rusev and scored the victory. Lie, cheat, and steal style, like his papi, Eddie Guerrero. And then afterwards, we've had the Last Time Is Now tournament announced in a pre-taped video that his final opponent will be determined in a tournament that will kick off in his hometown of Boston a week from Monday night. So this coming Monday Night Raw on November the 11th. And it ended off with the World Heavyweight title match for the vacant title between CM Punk and Jey Uso. Punk delivers the go to sleep. Uso fights out, trapped the best in the world in a sleeper, but Punk countered into an Anaconda Vice. Punk added two more of his finishers, scored the victory, regained the world title stolen from him by Rollins back at SummerSlam, and your new World Heavyweight Champion, CM Punk. And that was Saturday night's main event. One thing as well, after the show, there was a posted on Instagram with all 4 of the current champions in WWE, which were Cody Rhodes, Jade Cargill, Dominic Mysterio, and CM Punk. And 3 out of those 4, a lot of things about that. 3 out of those 4 used to be.
That was not the photo.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was the? I'm sorry. Let me do that. Let's then you tell me about the photo, Chico.
So the photo that went around right after Saturday night's main event, and why it was interesting, was because in it were new WWE Women's Champion Jade Cargill, new World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk, current WWE Undisputed Champion Cody Rhodes, and NXT champion Ricky Starks.
There we go. That's the one. That's the one I forgot and dropped out. That
Sorry,
out of my mind.
See, I'm having retrograde amnesia too. NXT champion Ricky Saints.
Oh yes, that's right, Ricky Saints. So there you go.
I don't know who Ricky Starks is. I don't know.
Mini Rock apparently. But
sure.
But
very interesting photo indeed, isn't it? Yeah. And now here's another thing too. There's even more. To that, the current NXT North American champion is Ethan Page.
That's right. Well,
so there's quite a number.
And now, and he's also mixed tag champion with good old Chelsea Green as well. So
yeah, but that has nothing to do with AEW. All the other names so far that I've mentioned are what makes it interesting is because they all used to be AEW names, right? I mean. I don't know. Is there any other champion that's former AEW? Well, we can be sure Andrade is not one of them because he's nobody cares. Yeah. So, but then, yeah, it was just interesting. I just thought that photo going around was very intriguing. You know, some would say it's a like shots fired kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Some would say it's just 4 people who used to struggle in another company, just celebrating triumph. I mean, you can look at it however you want to, and I'm sure that part of them taking that photo was to stir up conversation.
Oh, for sure. And what is wrestling without controversy and conversation? Honestly,
that's right. Controversy creates cash, as was the book title of one Eric Bischoff a few years ago. Mm-hmm. And sure, I mean, it got my attention. I kind of wasn't really that interested in pro wrestling lately because the Jays just took so much of my time. But that singular photo of those 4 former AEW big names really caught my attention and made me want to check out Saturday night's main event. So whatever purposes they had for it, it achieved something for me. I mean, sure. With me, like it caught me as an audience member.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's go and talk about, first off, the WWE Undisputed Championship match between Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. And so the American Nightmare keeps the American Dream alive. And, of course, Drew goading on Cody Rhodes by calling himself the real American Dream and all that.
That was so good.
Yeah, it was. It was. And it's perfect. It's a perfect story for Drew McIntyre to do that. However, here's the question that I have in mind. How many times has Drew McIntyre, over the last 4 years since he was WWE champion in the pandemic years, in the Thunderdome, how many times has he gotten that opportunity to be the champion other than the 3 minutes at WrestleMania 40? And not to come through. Exactly. And I know that Cody Rhodes, he is the face of the company. Yes, he is the guy that they'll go out there and be that John Cena kind of crossover, I guess, ambassador to the mainstream entertainment and entertainment media. But do you think it's actually time now for somebody else other than Cody Rhodes? I don't know. We've asked this question many times over the past couple of years, especially since WrestleMania. Is it really time for another man to be the flag bearer of the WWE?
I wouldn't have minded if Drew got the title, if that's what you're getting at also. I was not that surprised either, though, that Cody retained because, and we'll get into the Punk title victory later, but it just, this night didn't really feel like it was the time for huge special moments. Like it was kind of just another special event. You know, like to me, anyway, I didn't really. It wasn't much on my radar even leading up to it. I mean, they would have drummed it up quite a lot more. I think. I think I would have still been distracted by the Blue Jays in terms of like wrestling consumption, but we'll talk about the Punk title win later. But I just feel like the timing wouldn't have been good for Cody to lose that title because it wasn't really anything.
Okay.
However, it's interesting that they keep teasing a little bit of heel tactics, but you can say though that Cody never touched that belt, the Undisputed Championship belt. He never touched it. He just DDT'd Drew, and the title happened to be there. The title that Drew introduced into the match. It's heel tactics, but not really, because Cody didn't lay his hands on the Undisputed title at all.
Exactly, and it's it's almost a kind of a mirror too of if I remember correctly, the WWE No Way Out 2004 or 2005, whichever one it was. I think it was 2004, where Eddie Guerrero versus Brock Lesnar. For the title, and yes, Eddie did introduce the title into the ring while the referee was out. Goldberg took out Goldberg, and then Goldberg took out Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar still recovered, was about to F5 Eddie onto the title, but then Eddie countered and into the DDT onto the gold. Frog splash, 1, 2, 3, victory. WWE champion Eddie Guerrero, even though Taz was like, Eddie cheated with that move,
but he didn't.
That he didn't, exactly. Same thing with Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes did not cheat with that move.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, sure, it was cool and everything that maybe they were starting to tease a little bit of the rougher side, and maybe but I don't think that WWE would have it in its best interest. Sorry. I don't think it would have been in WWE's best interest for Cody to turn heel that night, and I don't think it will be anytime soon.
Do you think it would be?
I mean, it makes for interesting storyline possibilities, but he is that QB1, as they keep saying on TV. He's the quarterback of the company, great representative. It may seem like he becomes kind of, well, pardon the parlance, but elitist with his attire. But that's who he is. He represents. He's really good as the face of a company. As he's proven in 2 companies now. So I mean, I think he stays face. I think they can keep teasing till the cows come home about him potentially, playing dirty, but I don't think that that's in his character so much. But of course, people are going to keep speculating because he enters with Homelander-like gear. So people who are fans of the Amazon exclusive series, The Boys, know that Homelander only looks like a good guy.
Right. Yeah. And you know what? Speaking of and speaking of teasing that heel turn, just like the way that John Cena had teased the heel turn for many years. Here's somebody who's not teasing that, who's definitely not teasing it and just playing it up fully. Dirty Dominic Mysterio retaining the IC title with shenanigans, obviously, against Rusev and Penta. And hey, you know what? Dirty Dom himself proves that villainy pays if you can handle the guilt. And Dirty Dom, that character, he definitely can handle the guilt. He doesn't the character probably doesn't even feel guilty at all.
No, not at all. And the thing is, he's doing it to a point where now he has a bunch of fans who are cheering for him. So I think at some point he's going to make a face turn. At some point. Not anytime soon. Because he still got into it with his dad, Rey Mysterio, this past Monday on Raw. And he even so the two of them had a promo off, of course, on Raw. I don't know if you saw
fake
it.
That. You mean good?
I'm gonna get into it. So anyway, I guess you did not see it, right? I only saw one clip, but Dom and Ray were exchanging verbal jabs, and so Ray called out the fact that Dom says he's the greatest luchador of all time. So he started naming names, blah 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 blah. The great Eddie Guerrero, and then Dominic stopped him and said, "Keep my father's name out of your mouth." I don't know what else there is to say about that. So funny.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And it's it's a story. See, that's the thing. That's a storyline that's been going on for 20 years.
20 years. Yep. Dom for Hall of Fame.
Yep. Wow. Geez. I'm flustered. Actually,
you're dumbfounded right now.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
am.
it is.
I'm dumbfounded.
Oh, dumbfounded. Yeah, I get it. Okay, so this is the last episode of Ringside Heat, everybody. Goodbye.
But before it is our last episode, we got to take a break. Ringside Heat on News Talk Saga 960 AM. We're gonna come back with continuing to talk about Saturday's main event with Jade Cargill's crowning as the WWE Women's Champion, and of course CM Punk becoming the World Heavyweight Champion. And we'll be talking about when we come back after these promotional considerations. Welcome back to Ringside Heat on News Talk Saga 960 AM from the heart of Mississauga to your radio, your podcatcher, as well as onto YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lex Tan, host and producer of the show. Follow me at Lex Tan Media. Follow the show at Ringside_Heat. Follow Chico, who is on the panel here today, at Coco Collect, holding his WWE Championship title, as well as another WWE Championship title behind him. And, of course, that is a nice little bobblehead of Vladimir Guerrero Jr., circa 2018, where he still had frosted tips. I like that look on him, though. That's the thing. I did like that look on him because it reminded me of his first breakout. There's Bo Bichette there with the long hair as well. The long hair on Vladdy and Bo remind me of their first year in MLB, and particularly with Vladdy, the walk-off home run in spring training of 2017 in the stadium that he grew up in when his father was playing with the Montreal Expos.
Man, we'll get him back. You know what? I wouldn't even mind if the Jays faced the Dodgers again in a World Series. That'd be really fun to resume that. I mean, as a wrestling fan, these return match storylines are, pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm. And exactly. And we saw that back in 2015 and 2016 when the Blue Jays faced off against the Texas Rangers in both those years in the Division Series. And, Texas got their asses handed to them both times.
I guess so. Yeah, they got their female donkeys handed to them.
Yep, exactly. But yeah, you know what though? As if anything, the Blue Jays proved that they were equal to the Dodgers and even possibly the better team that just didn't get the luck bouncing their way.
Moving on.
Yeah, thinking about LA and Hollywood, guess what? MJF has caught the acting bug just in the same way as good old Dwayne did, Hulk Hogan did back in the day, Batista, and following that line of wrestlers, even good old Adam Copeland, our Toronto man's Adam Copeland, and of course you saw MJF earlier, quite recently, doing the Iron Claw and Happy Gilmore 2, and he's currently filming Violent Night 2, and which is set to be finished relatively soon, according to some reports, but he isn't currently being advertised for the 2025 Full Gear pay-per-view in Newark, New Jersey, and he actually did tease a change to his character in his last appearance in AEW. So he said this. Let's face it, folks. Ospreay, Swerve, Hangman. You can beat yourself all you want, but they were once in my dust. Now I'm in theirs. When I come back, I will no longer be playing MJF. Hell, I won't even be the MJF of old. I will not come back until I'm the most dangerous I have ever been. I will lap around everyone in this company, everyone in this profession. Doubt? There were times, I'm sure you knew, I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. When I come back, I am taking my spot at the top of professional wrestling, and I'm going to do it the only way I know how, whether you like it or not. My way. So big words there from MJF, and I think he's the kind of guy that can actually live up to those big words that he's been that he put out in his last appearance on AEW television.
Yeah, his stock has gone down with me, but that's not because he's not great. I just think it's more of, I don't know, lack of exciting booking, so it's only partly MJF, and I think it's largely Tony Khan. Mm-hmm. So a bit, of course, injuries also played a part. Like he's had long layoffs, and so yeah, his stock may be down with me, but that doesn't mean he can't get it back. So I hope that when he comes back, it is how he has put it just now, as you've read. I would love to see him not necessarily dominate again, but get my attention. Yeah, sure. Be like the number one bad guy again. Eradicate people, just tear them up. Now, what I do want to see that MJF is capable of, but often doesn't do enough of, is diversify his promo delivery. Because I like it when he can get low and slow, but then a lot of times he's still prone to just being at volume 11 the whole promo, and that doesn't do anything for me personally, but that's me and my preferences. I think, when a wrestler is able to deliver promos that aren't just at like the highest volume all the time, and there's a bit of versatility there, I think that's more effective in the long run. Yes. Now, of course, MJF is a loud, boisterous, obnoxious jerk. That is part of the character. But I mean, he could still do a bit of low and slow here and there, Like Jake the Snake is the one that I think of, like he can make you pay attention and not have to shout at you. In fact, most of the time, I think he was kind of lower and slower than most. But MJF just could use just more versatility in his delivery, if that makes sense.
Well, it does make sense because of the fact that back in 2003, before The Rock fully turned into Hollywood heel Rock, there was a promo that he did on WWE SmackDown where he was in front of his WWE title trophy case, and he was talking about his legacy of in the business. He was talking about how his pedigree, for lack of a better term, in the business as well. And he was actually, I thought it was actually the weakest promo of his return, because of the fact that he was already yelling at 11, and then when he talked about that, when he started talking about the titles that he displayed proudly in his home, and being the son of Rocky Johnson, the grandson of High Chief Peter Maivia, and people doubting him for that, and he was already kind of like screeching in the middle of his promo, and The Rock has shown in previous years as well that he can go low, and that he doesn't have to go and yell, and he can go, somebody got a haircut, and get a great reaction from that level of voice in the promo.
Oh, it's so funny that you mentioned that, because I loved The Rock's Final Boss promos, and those were great and more versatile than he had ever been, I feel like. So when the Final Boss was in its prime, I think that was some of the best work that Dwayne's ever done. Yeah. Now, of course, he just poo-pooed all that on the Raw Netflix debut, January 6th, 2025. Whatever, I guess. I guess he ran out of ideas, so just throw the whole thing away. A couple of years, whatever, Dwayne. I just gotta stop this anyway.
But you know who's not throwing things away right now, and I don't think she's going to be throwing it away anytime soon. Jade Cargill, who has just been crowned the new WWE Women's Champion by defeating Tiffany Stratton and
handily.
Yeah, exactly. Using the power that she already shows that she has with her muscular physique, and doing muscular physique with grace and style, but with aggression, almost ruthless aggression, as we'll talk about later on with Cena. But hey, you know what? Look at Jade Cargill. Power, presence, polish. Jade did not just win gold; she declared her arrival. What do you think, Chico?
I'm very glad that Jade finally turned to the dark side, pretty much. I think that's how it's been. I haven't been paying close attention, but I think she's gone full aggression. All she needs to do is back it up with some strong promos, which hopefully she's ready for. And she won in a dominant fashion. This is exactly how I wanted her to rebound from the loss to Tiffany Stratton, which to me was puzzling at the time. But, better late than never, I guess, for me. I think it's a good choice. They got to put the title on Jade. Tiffany was already past boring. Sorry, it's a little strong, but I think she has worn out her entertainment value for now.
I don't think that's a strong that's too strong of a statement there, or too weak of a statement either, because of the fact, as you said, Tiffy time.
She ran out of time.
Yeah, exactly. First, that's one thing. But Tiffy works best. I think that character of Tiffany Stratton works best as a heel. She's because of the way that first of all, she already declares her moonsault the world's prettiest moonsault, or the prettiest moonsault ever, right?
Yeah,
it's so there's already that superlative that comes with her, and then she's also she's also basically wrestling Barbie at this point, and so and of course, because when you have that kind of look, there's already kind of like this image of superlativity and this of perfection.
There's a new word.
Yeah, and perfection, for superlativity and perfection that comes with Tiffany Stratton, that she can take advantage of for her character to be a heel. But when they started making her face because people wanted to cheer her, and they decided, oh, you know what, maybe she'll work as a face. You know what? That kind of took away a lot of the edge that she had.
Yeah, I also think that, yes, they could have ridden that momentum, but not for this long. I think they did it for too long. Plus, Tiffy's not really the strongest promo giver as a face. So I think that they should have cut the face gimmick off a while ago. They could have turned her heel. They could have turned her heel and kept her champion. There's more than one way to skin a cat here, but I think that the WWE kind of dropped the ball on Tiffany Stratton. Maybe they were also waiting for her to kind of show some improvement with some things, but let's just say it's just way past time that she lost the title. So it's good that it's gone on to Jade. Jade, I think, could have. Yeah, I mean, some people could say she's overdue for that first big title, and
I think so.
Yeah, I think now it's happening, and let's see where it goes. Good idea. I don't really know where else you'd put that title at the moment, and let's just hope Jade backs it up with better promos than she had in AEW. Like, I want better for her heel character this time, and whatever the case, this is probably going to be different than her AEW dominance and tenure, because we all know how the WWE likes to operate. For the most part, they have to create what's previously been successful in other companies into their own image.
And somebody, who was successful for a time in another company and several other companies is CM Punk, who is now, again, World Heavyweight Champion. Finally a world champion again in WWE after such a long time. The prodigal loudmouth returns to the pulpit. He's champion again, and the wrestling world is back in confession. So,
okay,
yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, but
did you write that?
ChatGPT. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're actually admitting to AI in this episode.
Oh yeah. I mean, hey, it's it's a good aggregator of information. But
Okay.
CM Punk finally he becomes the world heavyweight champion. You know.
For more than 5 minutes, mind you.
Yeah, exactly. For more than 5 minutes, and that's the thing. He's finally found his redemption after a period of resentment, very bitter resentment from working in AEW, but also bitter resentment from working in WWE back in his back in his younger days. And so now that we've seen that resentment resolved into redemption from the day that he came back in Survivor Series a couple of years ago to this day, and even fighting off all the injuries that he did and the losses that he had to take. Nearly 50 years old, he's champion all over again. What are your thoughts here?
Look, I'm glad Punk got it, and I definitely was wanting Punk to win some sort of world title or whatever, champion of Masters of the Universe, whatever it is. But this event, like I was alluding to earlier with the Cody match, just felt like not much of anything. Like it was Saturday night's main event, but it's at the point of the ebbs and flows of WWE where Saturday night's main event doesn't feel like very grand to me. And so Punk winning it, sure, fantastic, great. I don't know how else they could have pivoted after Seth's injury, unfortunately, and hope he gets better as soon as possible because this one's real this time, folks. But I don't know, man. It just doesn't feel like that special. It doesn't feel special enough to me to be the thing that is the fulfillment of what a lot of us, definitely myself included, have wanted for Punk since his return, which is grabbing that elusive world title. I'm glad he has it, but this is clearly a pivot.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is that, like, again, it's one of those things that we discuss with AEW all the time. If everything is special, then nothing is special. And so, but you know what will be special, though?
What?
John Cena's last 4 appearances as a wrestler in the WWE and as a wrestler, as in his career as a wrestler. We're going to talk about the last run of the last hero of WWE, John Cena, when we return on News Talk Saga 960 Ringside Heat, back after these promotional considerations. Welcome back to Ringside Heat on Newstalk Saga 960 AM, your favorite podcatcher, and on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, Lextan at Lextan Media, Ringside Heat at Ringside_Heat on YouTube, on Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and Patreon. And as well, we've got Chico at Coco Collects, our TNA wrestling expert, and our wrestling memorabilia collection expert. This is the end of eras and the beginning of legacies that we are talking about, and the end of an era could be the beginning of a legacy with the last run of the last hero of WWE, John Cena, and his final 4 appearances as a wrestler before he retires from the ring full time. And the world is watching to see who shares the ring when he takes his final vow, as road life once used to mean hustle, loyalty, and respect, and it still does. But now, in these final 4 appearances, it means reflection, legacy, and goodbye. So, there are 3 angles that we can talk about over here. Number 1, now, of course, yes, there's a tournament out there right now that has been announced to determine his final opponent. And right now, according to let's see, and I'm trying to find, there it is, right there. Adam Pearce announced on last Monday's WWE Raw, rather, that 2 of the first round matchups we're going to get when WWE rolls through Cena's hometown of Austin will be Rusev versus Damian Priest, and Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sheamus. And that's going to be on November the 11th, Veterans Day in the United States, Remembrance Day here in Canada. Now, here's the three options that we could.
Of course, that's a Tuesday.
About. Oh, I'm sorry. The November 10th WWE Raw, which would not
be. Chime in on the second time I heard it.
There you go. Yes. So the three angles to explore over here. You could be the old frenemy. Maybe he could go up against Punk. Maybe he could go up against Orton in his final matchup, because Orton is still very, very much over with the fans. You could have the next generation option. It could be Braun Breaker. It could be Austin Theory. It could be Carmelo Hayes, L.A. Knight, or Solo Sikoa, passing the torch. Not weakness. Could be, it's blessing the next generation. Or the hybrid theory, you could have Cena versus CM Punk if the business dares one more dance between these two, and it could be for the title. And whoever and Cena could go out as the champion. Who knows? That's those are some of the options that could be explored. What do you think out of these three options? The old frenemy, the next generation, or the hybrid of Cena versus Punk? One more dance between the two. What do you think is more plausible to you?
I think just knowing how Cena seems to be, or how he presents himself publicly, I think the more likely road will be putting someone over that will be sort of a next big thing kind of person. Mm-hmm. I really don't think that Punk needs to do anything further with Cena. They've already wrestled in this tour, so that is finished. I don't think that it should be Brock, because Brock's already faced Cena on this tour and beat him handily, and there is nothing further to do there. Cannot be Cody Rhodes, because Cena already fulfilled the torch passing.
Yep.
They could have stretched it out to the end of the tour, but they decided not to. So no more Cody versus Cena for me. Thank you very much. So basically, almost everything that you said, I don't think any of that's going to happen. I don't even like most of the stuff that you just said. Dark horse pick for me to give somebody new some steam that could become very big, Joe Hendry.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that.
Well, also, Joe Hendry's been putting it out into the universe for the past few months, ever since the announcement of this tour. And we all know that Joe Hendry popped the crowd huge at Mania when he came out as a surprise opponent for none other than Randy Orton, one of Cena's legacy opponents as well. Speaking of that, Cena and Orton have already done their legacy match.
Yep.
So there's not a whole lot left for Cena to do. I think it's a little weird whether they're having a tournament in the first place, because it just doesn't feel like the kind of thing a tournament should be for. But, it gives people a chance to chatter about who it could possibly be. Now, you probably listened to the way Cena announced it in the pre-tape, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so one of the key lines that he said was it could be somebody young, could be like an opponent he's had a storied history with, or it could be someone that doesn't even work here. So that line has got me thinking, and definitely will have people talking. So this is why I mentioned Joe Hendry, because as far as we know, even though it doesn't look like it lately, I think Joe Hendry's still contracted under TNA. So that could work, because they have a partnership, as we all know. But at the same time, it does look like Joe Hendry's been completely dropped off of TNA at this point, and then he's more on NXT these days. Mm-hmm. So he's under the TKO umbrella more and more. So maybe, because if you notice, he was not on Bound for Glory at all.
That's true.
So,
yes.
Which is a huge event for TNA. So maybe this is a thing too, where WWE's kind of approached TNA and said, let's hold off on the Hendry, because maybe they got some plans for him.
Well, according to Sports Illustrated from September the 18th, multiple WWE and TNA sources tell the takedown on SI that Hendry is in the process of largely being phased out of TNA programming and integrated into the NXT brand, and his contract is set to expire at the end of the year, and he's expected to move full-time into WWE in early 2026.
Yeah, so you can see how my dark horse pick isn't necessarily the most left field thing, but it could be.
It could, yeah. I mean, all you need to do is say his name and he appears.
Exactly, and so he's actually about to challenge Chelsea Green and Ethan Page for the AAA mixed tag belts alongside say her name and she appears, Thea Hale. So they just did that challenge, yesterday on NXT. So, he's been doing a lot of NXT appearances. I mean, week to week, he's on NXT. And I think it would be kind of random because it feels like a huge jump to be putting him into this tournament in this current wave he's on. It feels more like he's really in developmental now. But I wouldn't mind if they give Cena and Hendry at least a little bit of face-to-face time, and maybe it won't even be maybe Hendry won't even make it into the finals, but maybe he gets that bit of shine with John Cena with a bit of a face-off at least.
Well, that's a question that I'd love to be able to pose to all of you listening on the radio, on YouTube, as well as on the Spotify podcast. Who should retire John Cena, a legend or a future legend like Joe Hendry? And to close this off, this discussion here about legacies and end of eras, beginning of legacies, every vocation. We're humans. We are human beings. We've got our spunk of youth, and then youth wasted, and then we realize when we're older that youth is wasted on the youth. But all that being said, in every vocation, there comes a last day in the arena, a last day in the ring. The question isn't whether you'll still win. It's whether you'll leave something worth following. And with that, that'll close off this episode of Ringside Heat. Thank you to Chico for joining me on this discussion of Saturday Night's Main Event, John Cena's Final Four, and we're going to be following that as we go along to Cena's final appearance on December the 13th, and we'd love to be on the ride with you as well. My name is Lex Tan, and you can follow me at Lex Tan Media. Follow the show at Ringside_Heat, and we remember the things that you probably forgot.